Hey friends, my name's Natty, a Christian homeschooling mom of two, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you 7 reasons why we chose to homeschool.
So this story starts a little farther back. Before we had kids, my hubby and I were very blessed to be part of a church that was incredible. They had amazing homeschoolers, and the more we got to know these people and the more we asked questions of all these parents, the more we realized that homeschooling was a key ingredient in all these kids being so amazing. We met teenagers that were sold out for Jesus, that were starting campaigns on their own to raise thousands of dollars for wells in Africa and putting in their own time and effort and energy to do these things because they wanted to. And that's something that really impacted me. We also went ahead and asked all the parents that were already homeschooling. We kind of just went around and interviewed them, like, what does a day look like? How do you figure out which curriculum to choose? What conventions do you go to? Like all these things. We try to ask them all the questions and glean from their wisdom. One of the biggest words that the Lord gave to me when we were very early on in this journey is actually from Deuteronomy 6 and 7. This is from when the Lord gave the commandments to the Israelites, and he said to them, "These words I'm commanding to you today are to be upon your hearts, and you shall teach them diligently to your children, and speak of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk along the road, and when you lie down, and when you get up." And that really spoke to me. It really told me, hey, our whole life needs to be centered around Christ. And so that includes my child's education. It cannot be this fragmented thing where my kid goes to school to learn a set of things there, and then we do something else at home, and then they get their Jesus fix on Sunday mornings. Like, that was what the big difference was with all of these homeschooled kids that I met, that I fell in love with, is that these kids were living examples of Christ. And it was because their entire education, their whole world was centered around Jesus. And so I thought, okay, how do we live this out ourselves? How can we speak of these things and teach them diligently to our children and do it when we're sitting in our house and when we're walking on the road and when we lie down and when we get up? And the solution is homeschool. Like, it's perfect. My husband and I chose this curriculum that is Christ-centered. It's called My Father's World, and it gives us an opportunity to have amazing conversations, not just when we sit and go through the work, which, by the way, in kindergarten only takes about an hour a day. It's all the other hours of the day. We get to keep reinforcing it and having conversations, and even when we're watching TV and things come up and they tie into what we were talking about in our lesson, it's just incredible to have all of that come together. And I have it in my heart. I really do believe that this was God's original plan for our families, for us as parents to be the ones that educate our children. We also wanted to be the number one influencer in our kid's life. We didn't want her to go to school or to her next door neighbors and have them be the ones that were teaching her. We wanted to be the ones that taught her everything there was to know, because as some of you may know, the public school system doesn't necessarily have our best interests at heart. And there are things that they might be teaching your children that go against the Bible, that go against what you're trying to teach them at home. And it's a really hard thing to navigate for parents, to kind of have to discredit their teachers while teaching them that they need to respect them as authorities. So this kind of solves all those issues. And then you're able to just be home and teach your kids how to read and write, and also all the Christ-centered things that you need to. Another big reason that we decided to homeschool is because it gave us huge flexibility with our schedule. We are able to go on amazing vacations when everyone else is stuck in school. So it's actually really great. We have gone on amazing cruises to beaches all over the world when there's like almost no one there, which we really enjoy. Like, we don't like going to the beach and having like all the crowds there. So it's really nice to go in like the end of September when there's no one there. It also gives us the opportunity to take a week off of school if we want, because there's a big holiday like Thanksgiving. The whole week of Thanksgiving we take off because we can, and we do other projects like cooking and baking and hanging out with family and friends. The entire month of Christmas we spend having lots of fun and going to the plays, and we go see the Nutcracker, and we go to the Billy Graham Library, and we do so many fun things. And we don't have to worry that we're gonna be stuck behind in school. And another huge reason that we're able to do that is because we school all year round. And we have that flexibility to do that. Like, we don't need to take 2 months off in the summer and then have our child forget half the things they learned, and then you have to spend the first month of school in September relearning what they forgot. Like, we just keep it going. We school all year round, and we take little breaks here and there the way it fits our needs. It's pretty perfect in that way. Another great reason that we decided to homeschool is because you can custom fit the education to your child's specific needs. If your child is an amazing reader and they picked it up so quick and they're just flying off, in a regular school setting where they have another bunch of kids that they're having to wait for with the teacher, they're forced to go at that pace. So it might stunt their growth a little bit. And the opposite is true if your child needs a little bit more help and they're not necessarily getting it as the group is moving along. They might get left behind and not get all the help that they need. And they might even get discouraged with their learning, and then get discouraged about themselves, and then decide they don't like school. And so we're able to avoid all of those things because we're custom fitting this to our own child. We are blessed with the time to be able to have our daughter participate in many extracurricular activities so that we can really find whatever she is most excited about and help her achieve those dreams. If our child decides that she wants to be a concert violinist, let's say that she picked up the violin and she was amazing at it, we're able to hone in on that and give her that time to devote to that and be able to pursue that without it hurting her studies. So when you're the mom and you're the teacher and you have your kids' best interests at heart because you love them unconditionally, you're gonna do your very best. You know your kid, like you're gonna know what they need specifically. So you're the perfect person to be on that forefront, teaching them and helping them along. As I moved along in our homeschool journey, I was really encouraged by the verse in Isaiah 40:11, and it says that he gently leads those that have young, and that really encouraged me, and I hope it encourages you in that the Lord leads us gently as parents who are homeschooling, and he's there for us and he helps us through anything. And if we just bring our fears and our anxieties and any struggles to him, he is able to help us get through anything because he's our dad and he loves us. I'm always reminded of Philippians 4:13. I can do anything through Christ who gives me strength. And so with Christ, with God on our side, we are perfectly positioned to be able to homeschool our kids. And so we started this journey almost 3 years ago, and it has been a huge blessing. We have learned so much as a family. When we first started, we thought, well, if it doesn't work, we can always stick her in school, and you can have that mentality like, hey, we're just gonna give this a try, and if it doesn't work, school's still there tomorrow. You can literally stop and put them in school. But as we moved forward in it, we realized that we were learning so much and she was learning so much and she loves to learn, and just getting to be a part of that and getting to see that firsthand was just so exciting and incredible. And we have just been so blessed in our journey that we're glad that we started and that we, despite the fears, went ahead and did this for her. And it has been amazing. And so I encourage you that if you are looking into it, give it a try. You never know, you might love it.
Thank you so much for watching. If you want more inspiration and help for your homeschool journey, be sure to click that subscribe button.